The TMNT have had many different iterations since their inception decades ago, and now we get a latest version brought to you by the hands of Seth Rogen. Now, how is it? I have to say, Seth Rogen's been on a roll lately when it comes to animation, because this version of the Turtles are awesome. First, let's talk about the animation, which is stellar. The style used is very reminiscent of the style you see in the Spider-Verse films, and I have to say, for the TMNT, it just works. The mixture of 2D and 3D animation that was used really helps sell that these turtles are, pretty serious, but at the same time, they're just teenagers and can be pretty silly. That being said, while I do like the animation style, the character designs, I'm a little 50-50 on. The turtles themselves look great. In most iterations of the TMNT, despite being teenagers, they usually have the build of adults, but this time they made sure they actually look like teenagers, and it actually really works. Master Splinter also looks pretty good, and the mutants themselves have all various different designs, all look great. The only problem I really have are with the humans. The designs of the humans aren't bad by any means, but to be honest, some of them are just kind of jarring to look at. I'm not going to say they're ugly or anything like that, but it's just a little awkward. April herself seems fine to me though. I know there's a lot of discourse around her, but frankly, she's just a teenager, and who cares what her race is? I think it's fine.
Yo! What? What the? Y'all some little tortoises, huh?
When it comes to the characterization of the characters, Mutant Mayhem did not disappoint. Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael, Michelangelo actually feel like four distinct turtles, not just looking like four distinct turtles, and I really like that. They each have their own personality and moment to shine in the movie that really stood them apart. Another strong aspect of the characterization was the fact that these four aren't just mutants, they're teenage mutants. At the end of the day, they live in a sewer and they're lonely and they just want friends. And I like how the movie really helped emphasize how they felt about that. And it wasn't just the turtles, they also did this for Master Splinter, which I really think helped his character. The fact that he himself also wanted to be with others, but became disillusioned due to how everyone, both rats and people and others, all treated him, was really interesting to see. April's characterization was also pretty good. She was just a lost teenager who just wanted to make some friends, just like the turtles, and it really helped them bond. Although, to be honest, I wasn't a super big fan of the whole Leo having a crush on her thing, but thankfully it didn't really devolve the movie in any way. Now, when it comes to the characterization of some of the other characters in the film, I can't give as high praise as I gave the turtles. Now, when it comes to the other mutants, I think for the most part they were okay. Superfly was pretty good, a very interesting adversary, but the only other ones who stood out aside from him were Mondo Gecko, Bebop, and Rocksteady, and that's because the others were just pretty one-note with their personalities, or rarely said a thing. Honestly, Genghis Frog had a very few lines, if I remember. Cynthia Utrom and her evil secret organization also didn't fare much better. She herself was relatively one-note with the fact, get the turtles, no secrets kind of thing. And because of that, it kind of suffered. They really were just a plot device. Take them out, replace them with anything else like, the Foot Clan, the movie would be almost exactly the same. Moving past that, even if all of the characterization wasn't great, the voice acting was definitely on point. The fact that they got actual teenagers to voice the TMNT was a genius move. They really sounded relatable. Jackie Chan was also excellent as Master Splinter, and honestly, Superfly was hilarious, so I have to give major props to Ice Cube.
Look, we're really sorry, Splinter. Some of the guys want to see a movie and I try to talk them out of it.
Leo! What?
Before wrapping things up, there are a few more things I'd like to cover. First is the story. Overall, Mutant Mayhem is really just a story about four teenagers who just want to be accepted in the world, but because of the mutants, they're having a bit of a tough time getting there. Watching the turtles try their best to really change the situation was honestly very inspiring. Second thing to note is the humor, which is surprisingly on point. The jokes that are told in Mutant Mayhem are enjoyable for both adults and kids, and I really like that. The last thing I wanted to note was the fighting choreography, which was amazing. Watching the turtles fight, especially against the gang members, was just wonderful.
One day, 15 years ago, everything changed.
Overall, TMNT Mutant Mayhem is a wonderful addition to this franchise's history. It's got action, it's got good story, it's got heart, it's got wonderful humor. I will admit some of the character designs for some of the humans are a little bleh, but otherwise, this is a great TMNT movie. If you haven't watched it already, please do so.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, try to give a like or leave a comment. If you didn't like what you saw, try to leave me some feedback to see in ways I can improve. Thank you. Have a nice day.